we view this as what is going to be a continuum of ongoing work with our bio membership, because, getting this rollout is going to be critical to ensuring there is a pathway for, in continued investment in novel, innovative biotherapeutic products, right? It is not lost on us that the agency, CMS in particular, has a lot of work yet to do. And I think there will be the devil's in the details type requirements that could make or break, long-term investment decisions. One of the questions we get asked oftentimes is, what does this really mean for investment in the biotech sector? And I think the answer is a lot of different things. And one way you could highlight investment decisions is, the vast majority of venture capital and private equity that flows into the biotech ecosystem, which is frankly critical for the startup biotech economy, is going to have new net present value calculations that they're going to be evaluating, right? You have a law here that sets up a differentiated environment for large molecule and small molecule drugs. There is a exclusivity canceling date that is predictable in a certain circumstance, particularly as you get later into the law, where more and more products are captured by this cumulative negotiation paradigm. That's going to affect the valuation calculus. We did a research project with our consultants, Vital Transformations, about a year ago, where they looked at the effect of investment in the small biotech marketplace in the European Union after certain European Union pricing controls were in effect. And they showed sort of in a very correlative circumstance that a 10% drop in the price of medicines in the price-controlled marketplace led to about a 14% decrease in VC funding and 9% decrease in biopharmaceutical startup funding relative to the US for each 10% decrease in that price-controlled environment. And now in 2020, the most recent data that was available, the US share of total annual biotech startups was 3 times greater than the EU share. And part of that is because most of the capital flowed out of the EU in the wake of those price controls and into the United States. Now we are in a circumstance where we have price controls that are on the horizon in the United States. And the question becomes, what does that ultimately mean? And I think we are still wrestling with that, but we're very concerned about the impact long-term because of all the correlative evidence we have in the European Union and Japan and other areas that have instituted price controls. And so I think not only do we have this regulatory imperative to work with the agencies as bio on behalf of our members, but we continue to have this congressional and legislative imperative to try and ameliorate the effects that could be very negative to the biotech infrastructure here in the United States. I will note that just last Wednesday at the White House, the president, along with several cabinet officials, lauded the biotechnology industry as the innovation engines that will help restart the biomanufacturing boom that the president would like in the United States. Lost in that conversation was the legislative sort of hurdle that was just put in place by that same administration's desires. And, I think we as an agent or we as a nonprofit representing this industry have to do a lot more to educate the industry and to educate those in Washington and the states about the consequences of these decisions.